Okay, good evening. We're back with Second Chronicles chapter 10. The northern tribes revolt. Rehoboam went to Shechem, where all Israel had gathered to make him king. Where Jeroboam, son of Nebat, heard of Solomon's death, he returned from Egypt, for he had fled to Egypt to escape from King Solomon. The leaders of Israel sent for Jeroboam, and he and all Israel went together to speak to Rehoboam. Your father was a hard master, they said. Lighten the harsh labor demands and heavy taxes that your father imposed on us. Then we will be your loyal subjects. Rehoboam, or however you pronounce it, sorry if I mispronounce it, replied, Come back in 3 days for my answer. So the people went away. Then King Rehoboam went to discuss the matter with the older men who had counseled his father Solomon. What is your advice? He asked. How should I answer these people? The elder counselors replied, If you are good to the people and show them kindness and do your best to please them, they will always be your loyal subjects. But Rehoboam rejected the advice of the elders and instead asked the opinion of a young man who had grown up with him and who were now his advisors. What is your advice? He asked them. How should I answer these people who want me to lighten the burdens imposed by my father? The young men replied, This is what you should tell these complainers. My little finger is thicker than my father's waist. If you think he was hard on you, just wait and see what I'll be like. Yes, my father was harsh on you, but I'll be even harsher. My father used whips on you, but I'll use scorpions. 3 days later, Jeroboam and all the people returned to hear Rehoboam's decision, just as the king had requested. But Rehoboam spoke harshly to him, for he rejected the advice of the older counselors and followed the counsel of the younger advisors. He told the people, My father was harsh on you, but I'll be even harsher. My father used whips on you, but I'll use scorpions. So the king paid no attention to the people's demands. This turn of events was the will of God, for it fulfilled the prophecy of the Lord spoken to Jeroboam, son of Nebat, by the prophet Ahijah from Shiloh. When all Israel realized that the king had rejected the request, they shouted, Down with David and his dynasty. We have no share in Jesse's son. Let's go home, Israel. Look out for your own house, O David. So all Israel returned home. But Rehoboam continued to rule over the Israelites who lived in the towns of Judea. King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was in charge of the labor force, to restore order, but the Israelites stoned him to death. When this news reached King Rehoboam, he quickly jumped into his chariot and fled to Jerusalem. The northern tribes of Israel had refused to be ruled by a descendant of David to this day. Second Chronicles chapter 11. Shema's prophecy. When Rehoboam arrived at Jerusalem, he mobilized the armies of Judea and Benjamin, 180,000 select troops, to fight against the army of Israel and to restore the kingdom to himself. But the Lord said to Shema, the man of God, Say to Rehoboam, son of Solomon, king of Judea, and to all the Israelites in Judea and Benjamin, This is what the Lord says, Do not fight against your relatives, go back home, for what has happened is my doing. So they obeyed the message of the Lord and did not fight against Jeroboam. Rehoboam fortified Judea. Rehoboam remained in Jerusalem and fortified various cities for the defense of Judea. He built up Bethlehem, Adam, Tekoa, Bethsur, Soko, Adulam, Gath, Marshah, Ziph, Adoram, Lachish, Azekah, Zorah, Ajalon, and Hebron. These became the fortified cities of Judea and Benjamin. Rehoboam strengthened their defenses and stationed commanders in them. Each of them he stored supplies of food, olive oil, and wine. He also put shields and spears in these towns as further safety measures, so only Judea and Benjamin remained under his control. But all the priests and Levites living among the northern tribes of Israel sided with Rehoboam The Levites even abandoned their homes and property and moved to Judea and Jerusalem because Jeroboam and his sons would not allow them to serve the Lord as priests. Jeroboam appointed his own priests to serve at the pagan shrines where they worshipped the goat and calf idols he had made. From all over Israel, those who sincerely wanted to worship the Lord, the God of Israel, followed the Levites to Jerusalem, where they could offer sacrifices to the Lord, the God of their ancestors. This strengthened the kingdom of Judea, and for 3 years they supported Rehoboam, son of Samuel. Oh, man, I'm sorry. So they supported Rehoboam, son of Solomon, and earnestly sought to obey the Lord as they had done during the reigns of David and Solomon. Rehoboam's father. Rehoboam married his cousin Mahalath, the daughter of David's son Jeremoth, and of Abihail, the daughter of Elab. Elab was one of David's brothers, a son of Jesse. Mahalath had 3 sons, Jeush, Shemariah, and Zaham. Later, Rehoboam married another cousin, Maacah, the daughter of Absalom. Maacah gave birth to Abijah, Adi, Zizah, and Shelomith. Rehoboam loved Maacah more than any of his other wives and concubines. In all, he had 18 wives and 60 concubines, and they gave birth to 28 sons and 60 daughters. Wow. Rehoboam made Maacah's son. Oh, sorry, while I turn the page. Maacah's son, Abijah. I think that's how the pastor pronounced that. Abijah, chief among the princes, making it clear that he would be the next king. Rehoboam also wisely gave responsibilities to his other sons and stationed them in the fortified cities throughout the land of Judea and Benjamin. Wow. He provided them with generous provisions and arranged for each of them to have several wives. Okay, I think I could get chapter 12 done. 2 Chronicles chapter 12. Egypt invaded Judea, but when Rehoboam was firmly established and strong, he abandoned the law of the Lord, and all Israel followed him in his sin, because they were unfaithful to the Lord. King Shishak of Egypt attacked Jerusalem in the 5th year of King Rehoboam's reign. He came with 1,200 chariots, 60,000 horsemen, and a countless army of foot soldiers, including Libans, Sukkites, and Ethiopians. Shishak conquered Judea's fortified cities and then advanced to attack Jerusalem. The prophet Shimon then met with Rehoboam and Judea's leaders, who had all fled to Jerusalem because of Shishak. Shimon told them, "This is what the Lord said. You have abandoned me, so I am abandoning you to Shishak." The king and all the leaders of Israel humbled themselves and said, "The Lord is right in doing this to us." When the Lord saw their change of heart, he gave this message to Shema. "Since the people have humbled themselves, I will not completely destroy them and will soon give them some relief. I will not use Shishak to pour out my anger on Jerusalem, but they will become his subjects, so that they can learn much better to serve me than serve earthly rulers." So King Shishak of Egypt came to Jerusalem and took away all the treasures of the temple of the Lord and of the royal palace, including all of Solomon's gold shields. The King Rehoboam later replaced them with bronze shields and entrusted them to the care of the captain of his bodyguard. Whenever the king went to the temple of the Lord, the guards would carry them along and then return them to the guard room. Because Rehoboam humbled himself, the Lord's anger was turned aside, and he did not destroy him completely, and there was still goodness in the land of Judea. Summary of Rehoboam's realm. King Rehoboam firmly established himself in Jerusalem and continued to rule. He was 41 years old when he became king, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city of the Lord had chosen from among all the tribes of Israel as the place to honor his name. Rehoboam's mother was Naamah, a woman from Ammon, but he was an evil king, for he did not seek the Lord with all his heart. The rest of the events of Rehoboam's reign from beginning to end are recorded in the record of the Shema the prophet and in the record of Iddo the seer, which are part of the genealogical record. Rehoboam and Jeroboam were continually at war with each other. When Rehoboam died, he was buried in the city of David. Then his son Abijah became the next king.